1805 is when we destroyed the Russian fort. The battles that have happened between Russia and Ukraine has probably brought back a lot of the trauma and memories that Alaska Native people had under Russian occupation. Also memories of how we tried to resist Russian colonization. My name is Judith Ramos. I teach at the University of Alaska. My family comes from the village of Yakutat, Alaska. And one of the research areas that I'm working on is the Russian colonization of the Yakutat area through the establishment of a Russian fort. And so we have a history that goes back to the 1790s when they established a fort in Yakutat, which is mainly established by Russian convicts. When the Russians first came to our community, we had like an equal relationship. We exchanged hostages, and we first had an agreement that the Russians would pay the Tlingit people for use of the resources, but after a couple of years it became less of an equal relationship, where we heard rumors that they were making our children into slaves. They were abusing our women, and they established a barrier on our fishing grounds, where we had to go around the fishing grounds, and if we went through where the fort was, we'd have to pay. The final straw was we had acquired some iron through a shipwreck, and Tanukh is the name, used it to bury his uncle in, who was also a shaman, and he got punished for that. So he led a battle to the destruction of the Yakutat fort. In 1805 is when we destroyed the Russian fort because of all these issues that we had with the Russians. There was also a documented attack on Baranov by Tlingit warriors, which happened in the Prince William Sound, and there was another battle that happened between the Dry Bay Tlingit from Yakutat and some Russians in Dry Bay. Yeah, the part that's probably well documented is this 1802 battle that happened in Sitka, where the Sitka Tlingit also burned down the fort in Sitka. But a couple of years after, the Russians came back and reestablished the fort. The people that suffered the heaviest impact, of course, was the Aleuts and the Lutiks, because they were the first ones that faced the Russian fur traders, including one island that was completely bombed by the Russians, and one incident where they used some Aleuts as a target practice. To have him on our nation's land, especially in Alaska, the impacts it's had on the Ukrainian people, including the children being taken and raised by Russians, similar to what happened to Native people. It's re-traumatized the history of our relationship by having him here, an international war criminal. So that's kind of would be the way Alaska Native people would view his visit to Alaska. If you're going to do anything, try to educate yourself about this history of Alaska Native people.